you know, it's strange because I had not been keeping track of the days anymore. I've not been, I stopped, I think after 30, after your memorial, I stopped counting the days it's been since you died. And just before I started recording, I decided to count, and today's day 47 or 48. And yeah, I'm trying to think of what has happened. Feels like a lifetime, you know, and that's the problem with that I'm finding nowadays. And I have an appointment, a therapy appointment on Friday, and I'll ask him about that, of, you know, being in these two worlds of like knowing that you're gone and accepting that you're gone, but at the same time still being in such absolute disbelief. And time either seems like it was so long ago, or like it was a day ago, you know. And so after your memorial service, you know, we've just been trying, Gamma and me have been trying to get it together, you know. My psychiatrist started me on medication for the depression. It's just going to be temporary because, you know, depression doesn't last. I mean, it can be a lifelong thing, but it's not supposed to last for an extended period of time. So I'm on the medication for about 6 months. It has been helping, I guess. I was supposed to go up to 10 milligrams starting yesterday. I don't want to. I wanted to just feel out 5 milligrams, see how it was. The first couple of days were interesting, and I just wanted to wait and like, you know, kind of see. So I've been on that. She suggested that I do another month of being out of work just to get acclimated to the the medication, and just try to get a balance on things. And I've found that it's been a lot of doing nothing. Most days I'm just sitting and either playing a video game or on my phone or just watching TV, or doing two of those things at the same time. I don't really know what to do, you know. That's the thing. I keep waiting for this profound, like, you know, change in me to start, where a switch goes off and I'm suddenly like, okay, I'm ready to live life. I'm ready to live life for you. I'm ready to do all these things for you. And I just can't will myself to do them. But I think that's the tricky thing about the time, because it feels like it has been so long, and it has only been 48 days. Like, only, you know. And I'm just expecting to already be at the finish line when there is no finish line, first off, but also second off, to like I'm expecting myself and asking too much of myself. I think I'm expecting me to get over it, you know, because that's how I've handled everything else in life. You know, eventually you just have to kind of get over it and you move on with life, and as time goes on you forget about it. But, you know, that's how I've handled other things. This is completely different, and I think that I really need to take some time and sit with that and sit with the fact that this is not a breakup. This is not me losing my job. This is not me going through an existential crisis. I can't talk. This isn't any of that. This is me grieving heavily for the loss of my oldest daughter, my only daughter. And that's something you won't ever get over. And I keep viewing this as though it's happening to somebody else. And so when it comes back to me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it reminds me of like Rosemary's Baby, where she was like, this isn't a dream, this is really happening. Like, that's exactly how I feel when I like come back into myself and look around, and I'm like, you know, feel like I've been in a daze for like, you know, I don't know how long, and suddenly it's like, oh my gosh, like this, none of that was a dream, like this was all real. You know, there's times when I just think like if Gamma's gone or something, and she's gone to like an appointment or whatever, and she's just not here, and I just, you know, for a minute my brain thinks that things are not the way they are, and then I will look over at the start of your memorial wall in the living room, and I will be like, oh, okay. And but man, you know, you have been really settling into your new life, and really getting into what I guess is like the nitty-gritty of everything, and really settling in your role of whatever you're doing, which I assume is an angel. I don't know how it works over there, but I'm gonna assume you're an angel now. You keep sending me the angel numbers. I see angel numbers literally every single day. Every time I'm looking at anytime I pick up my phone, it seems like my percentage is always 77%. I see 77s so often. 11 ones, things like that. And yesterday, I think it was yesterday, or the day before, either way, I think it was yesterday, I made a post on Instagram, and I had said, it's like on the only post I seem to make now on Instagram are remembrance posts or grieving posts, or, you know, anything like that. And I had posted one, and then the caption, I just said, you know, how I miss you so much, and how I don't feel like a mom anymore because you're gone. And I've been binge watching The Walking Dead because I need things to watch where I don't have to think about them, where I just put them on and I can let them play. So I've been watching a lot of Keeping Up with the Kardashians and The Walking Dead, because, you know, it's done and we never finished it. And I said, well, I got time now, so I'm gonna finish watching it before I go to work, back to work, which I think can be accomplished for sure. I'm already on season 7, and so on the episode, one of the episodes yesterday that I was watching, there was a part where Carol was talking to this man, and she literally said the exact same thing, because the guy, I think, had asked her, like, did you have a child or something like that, and or he said something about, I don't know how they got on it, but they got to talking about kids and her being a mom. And she was like, well, I'm not a mom. I used to be a mom. And I was like, relatable, girl. And the guy was like, you know, you're still a mom. And I could just feel you telling me, Ton, like, listen, because this is exactly how it is. And the guy was telling Carol that she is still a mom because of the care that she shows to other people now. How she takes care of everybody, how she worries for everybody. And he said that a mom is someone who also has to do the hard stuff too. And still just like go on as if nothing's wrong. And it's so true. I was thinking about, and it's so, oh my gosh, what's so funny right now is I'm looking out my window and a mama deer and her baby just crossed the street over to the side that I'm on. So it'll be things like that. It'll be messages like that where it's like I really have to think about them, you know? Like, it's not just gonna be something simple. Oh, you guys be careful. Where it's not gonna be as simple as like a butterfly or a cardinal or anything like that, you know? You're making me think. You're making me really like listen out for everything. And I love that, you know, make me use my brain, you know, make me work for the messages, like, absolutely. But, just let me know that, like, you know, you don't hold any grudges towards me, that you're still, like, from the beyond telling me that, like, I'm a good mom and everything, and I love you so much. I miss you so much. This is literally the hardest thing I've ever had to go through and do in my entire life. And I've had such a hard life. And this by far has been the hardest thing that I have ever in my entire life had to go through. And it sucks to be able to know that this happens to everybody, you know. I'm not the only one. People have children who die all the time, every single day, probably every second of the day, you know. And I keep having to tell myself that which would you rather have had? Would you rather her have been taken out as quickly as possible and suddenly without any suffering? Or would you rather her have died a slow and painful death later on? You know, because you had that tuber in your chest, which is fucking random. I was like, God, Death, like, 2024, you were just chasing her. And I was watching, you know, as I'm watching The Walking Dead, and I was saying the same thing about fucking Glenn. I'm like, oh my gosh, it just made me think about you even more, because I'm just like, you know, Glenn had death chasing him. It seemed like every season, and he escaped it, and he would leave Maggie, and then he would come back, and he would leave, and then he would come back, and it was just like torture. And then finally for him to die the way he died, you know, when like it seemed like any other death leading up to that. So it just seemed like death was chasing Glenn, like, through every season. And I really feel like 2024, that's what death was doing with you. It was just chasing you, you know. The beginning of the year, getting so sick, being in the hospital, you know. And I thought I was gonna lose you then. I remember being so fucking scared. like so fucking scared and praying nonstop and just, you know, trying to be strong for you and, you know, get you through that. And then, you know, to have you taken out, you know, just so suddenly by something completely different. It was just like, you know, it's just hard. It's hard because I think about the person you are, just how sweet and kind and funny and loving, and how much life, you know, that you still had to live. But, you know, obviously that wasn't in the playbook for your life, you know. But we're trucking and we're trying, and it's hard. And, you know, I'm in therapy now, and I have a psychiatrist, like, things that you always wanted me to do. Even Gamma was telling me that, you know, how you would tell her that you wish I would talk to somebody and get myself sorted out. And now I'm doing it, you know, because of you, but for you, because I can't handle this. I can handle lots of things on my own. I cannot handle this. I cannot shoulder this grief. It is so heavy. But I do it every day and just try to get through it the best way that I know how. Whatever I feel I need to do, that's what I do, you know. Sometimes I talk to you, sometimes I ugly cry, sometimes I haven't videoed in a while, but sometimes a video, sometimes, you know, I don't know. I've been playing your DS a lot, so I feel very connected to you in that fashion, because it actually has a really fun game on there. So yeah, I've been really enjoying that, and just feel like, you know, you're still around. And I know you're around, but, you know, even more so because, you know, I'm trying to make use of the stuff that you had, and, you know, it'll all balance out eventually. It's just a really hard time right now, and it's new territory for me. It's like every bit of it is new. Ever since you died, I have been reborn, and I don't know this life. I don't know how to live this life, so everything is new to me, and I'm just feeling my way, kid. And I can use all the help I can get from you on the other side. All the prompts, all the messages, like, I'll take them. I'll take them all, you know. I love you so, so much. This life without you is absolute fucking agony. Like, agony. I just hope for better days.